Listo.
Okay, ready? Okay, well, let's start all over again. Well, as we have been talking about, we're going to share some ideas about blended learning and flipped learning. So let me start sharing my screen again. Okay. Okay, now I don't know why it is not allowing me to share the screen. So, well, I'm going to paste here a link, and that link you can get a PDF version of the presentation. So if for some reason I cannot share the screen, I don't know why it's happening now, you can follow the presentation there. Okay, I'll just ask you to go to the next slide. So could you please click on the link and get the PDF, please, so we can all follow the presentation together? And I will try to share my screen again.
Just hold on a second. Let me check where I can share it. No, I think it's only you who can share it. Oh, no, wait a second. I got it. Can you see that? Yes, can you see the presentation?
I can.
Okay, good. So you can continue. Thank you, Rosie.
Okay, thank you. Well, again, welcome. Por enésima vez. Thank you so much. Okay, let's start then. We're going to talk about blended learning and flipped learning. Now, I was asking you if you have already heard about those terms, and you told me that yes, you have. And we started talking about the difference between both of them. And we already defined blended learning. If we could go to that slide, please. Okay, in that slide we read that blended learning is a mix. Okay, it's going to be the combination of traditional learning with technology, with technological tools. That could be online or it could be apps, etc. But it's that combination of tools. So that would be pretty much what blended learning is. And flipped learning, somebody mentioned before, that is like giving the information for homework or something like that. You mentioned. Well, flipped learning would be, yes, like putting it upside down. Usually what we do, at the next slide, please. Usually what we do is that in class we give the information.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
And Daniel, your mic is open. Okay. Hello, Daniel.
Yes, I'm here. Es que están las dos.
Yes, your microphone is open. so we can hear your phone conversation.
Sorry.
It's okay. Well, then again, blended was a mix of traditional and technology. Okay, and flipped learning would be like putting things upside down. Usually what we do is in the classroom, we give the information, we explain everything, and then for homework, the students should do the practice. Students should create something or answer activities, exercises, etc., etc. But since the teacher is not there, and they already forgot everything they saw in class for some magical reason, then it's really difficult for them to do the practice. So in flipped learning, in our flipped classroom, what we're going to do is we're going to ask our students to get the information by themselves at home. And then in class, what we do is we discuss it and we do the practice all together to make sure that they understand. And if there are any doubts, the teacher will be there to help them. So is that clear? Yes, I love your heads moving. Yes, good. Okay, so that would be the difference then. One is a mix and the other one is doing the opposite of what we traditionally do. Okay, could we go to the next slide? Actually, then, well, that one, because we haven't seen it, is what I already told you, that we use the class just to do the practice and the students get the information by themselves. Now, which one is better or how do we use them? Well, as I told you at the beginning, there are no secret formulas. We should take or we should do or follow any approach that we feel is appropriate for the objective of the lesson, for the group, because sometimes what works with a group doesn't work with another. So there are no secret formulas, but we're going to compare a little bit of them. Can you see the presentation? I mean, is it clear enough for you to read it? Okay, well, I'll read it then. It's here we have why using the blended learning model or why using the flipped classroom model. Well, the first one, the blended learning model, it has been known to give students time to reflect. Usually within the same classroom, we have students with different levels of ability. Even if we have a placement test at the beginning of the course, we're always going to have students who find English easier than others or harder than others. So with blended learning, we're going to give them a chance to be in control of their own learning, and they will be able to reflect and think about it and find ways to do it in different ways. For example, with different apps or games online, they can practice as many times as they need in order for them to really get it. If we're going to do a listening activity with a song, if they have the chance to stop the recording, to play it again, to play it as many times as they need, they feel more confident because they do not have the pressure to understand just with the first time or the second time to listen to it, because they're in a group and they must work all together. Weaker students could feel pressure there. So when we give them control of these tools, when we encourage them to use technological tools and they are able to decide how many times they do the activity, it makes them feel comfortable and confident. Okay, so we're going to give students time to reflect. We're going to empower our students, and they will be able to adapt the the use of all those tools according to their own needs, and they will decide the pace. And it also, blended learning also enables instructor to provide oversight and feedback anywhere, anytime. I mean, if you ask your students to send you their homework by email, then you won't have to carry a bunch of books home, and you will have time to check it even when you're not in your office or whatever. You can even check it in your own cell phone. So it's also really helpful for you as teacher. Now, the flipped classroom. Well, it's going to let our students again be in charge of their own learning, but now it's not just with the practice. Now it's going to be with the information, getting the information in order to have the practice with the teacher in the classroom. So they will be able again to rewind and pause the recordings, the videos, anything that we ask them to see. We're going to empower them to have to feel more secure when we have the practice and the interaction in the classroom, because they already know what we're talking about. So one important thing here is that if we decide to use the flipped classroom model, we provide them with the information that we want them to use. I mean, if we just ask them, or if we just say, go and find information about present perfect, they will go to many different links and videos. Maybe they won't have the same information. They will have a different. So the important thing here is that we as teachers provide them exactly the video or the link, the document that we want them to read or watch, in order to make sure that everybody, so we can have a discussion and we can practice it the next day, and not just checking what everybody learned and try to find out if it was correct. So that's one of the most important things in flipped classroom. It's not just asking students, go find it out, and God bless you. It's giving them exactly the tools that they will need, asking them to read or watch a video that you provide. Okay? So far so good. Any comments? I would like to hear what you think about this. Any comments, suggestions, complaints, anything?
Hello.
Hi.
I think what you just mentioned about the last part of the flipped classroom is what some of the teachers here in Puebla have not problems, but some issues. Like that last part of really not just giving them homework, but making the most of a flipped activity. Identifying what kind of tasks are really effective to make a true flipped activity. I think that's one of the key issues that I would like to hear from you.
Okay. Yes, one of the things that could take a lot of time for teachers when working in this flipped way is looking for the resources, looking for the videos, etc. What I suggest is that using technology again, maybe open an account for everybody to use, a Google Drive account, and you start creating like files. And all the teachers from the Anglo can upload ideas, for example, a file for present, simple present, okay? And then all the teachers who have used videos or a document or worksheet, etc., they upload it there, so it's available for everyone. Because I understand it takes a lot of time to decide what specific resource you're going to use. So for the first weeks or the first months, it would be kind of too much work for teachers. But if we are creating the bank, sorry, it says if anyone has problems with or something. Okay, right questions here. Yes, thank you. Yes, so if we create a bank all together, it's going to make our lives easier. And we can trust that those tools there have already been checked by another teacher from the same institution. So that could be an idea. We're going to share. I'm going to share with you some links and apps of material that you can use in class. But I think if you created this great bank of activities, it would be really helpful. And after a few months, it won't take that long to prepare your classes, because you will have now ideas there to share and use. Okay.
Yes.
Any other? Yes. Did I answer your question? Did I fulfill your need?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, any other comment, suggestion, complaint, anything?
Well, me. I think that the material has to be a decision between the teacher and the students, right? I mean, in order to engage them, really engage them with the activities that you plan for this for this material, it should be a combination, right? Obviously, understanding what your students like or are interested in would help more if you just bring, I don't know, a song that you like, right? It would engage them more.
Yes, of course. We need to take into account what our students like, what they enjoy the most, so we can use activities related to that, and it becomes more relevant, more engaging. And also see how something worked. Maybe we found a song and a worksheet and that went with that song, and we thought it was going to be like the best activity ever, but for some reason it didn't work. So find out with your students. If you say, yeah, we did it, but we didn't like it much, find out why. So for the next time, you keep in mind their comments, and we do not make the same mistake. Here we are going to learn all together, students and teachers, because it's a new way to work. But believe me, once you start using technology, you as a teacher, you get engaged. The other day that I was having a conversation with Daniel when we were planning this session, I was telling him that I started using technology with my students like 8-9 years ago. It was a high school group, teenagers. Yay! We all love teenagers, right? And every day, the smartphones were not, well, the cell phones were not this magical smartphones that do everything right now. They were much simpler phones. They used them for texting or maybe listening to music, or the first iPods or MP3 players. And every class I was fighting. Every class I had to ask not less than 5-6 students to put their cell phones away or their MP3 players away, etc. Every single day. There was a point when I got tired of myself. I thought, if I were my own teacher, I wouldn't like it. I mean, the teacher is always asking me to put my cell phone away, to put my MP3 player away. It's the same thing every day. So I said, well, I need to find out a way to use those tools in the classroom. So I woke up my hamster and I said, okay, think. No? Find a way to do it. And I came up with an idea. The next grammatical structure that I had to teach for that group was reported speech. you know, reported speech is like gossiping, no? Telling someone what somebody else said. So I said, okay, I will do it, and I will do it with a cell phone. So on Thursday, we had classes from Monday to Thursday. So on Thursday, I asked them to bring their cell phones, no? By next Monday. And they were like, really? I mean, you're always fighting. You're always asking us to put it away. Well, I said, yes, I changed my mind. Bring them, please. And of course, on Monday, everybody did the homework, and they got their cell phones there. So I told them, well, I'm going to explain something, and as soon as you understand it, and I'm sure that you all understood, we're going to use the cell phones. So believe me, it was like the best class of my life. Everybody was paying attention. Everybody was in silence. They understood reported speech in just one class, what usually took 3 or 4 classes. And they got it. They paid attention. I asked for examples. They gave me examples because they wanted to use the cell phones, not because suddenly I became like the best teacher in the world. No, they wanted to use the cell phone. So I explained that. I got examples. I saw that they got it. I said, okay. I wrote my cell phone number on the board, and I wrote a sentence. And I said, the first 3 students who sent me that phrase changed into reported speech correctly will get an extra decimal point on the following quiz. We used to have quizzes every Thursday. So immediately, they started typing. I got the messages. So the first one I got, I checked it. It was correct. So I asked them, okay, whose number is this? And they said, okay, it's Diego. Well, Diego, your sentence was correct. You got a point. So they were asking me for more. I said, okay, that's it. I gave them 3 sentences and said, no, please, another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And believe it or not, we did even more exercises than we should have done. It was incredible. They even asked for homework. I mean, it was like, really? But they did. So that day changed my life as a teacher. That day I learned that I should not be fighting anymore, and I should use technology. And since then I started collecting ideas. So I have plenty of ideas. I will share some of them with you today. And at the end of the session, I'm going to give you my email address, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. So you are able to contact me, and if you need anything, if you want to get some ideas and material that you could use to teach, I don't know, present, progressive, whatever, let me know and I'll be glad to share them with you. I have a note here. It says, on YouTube, Avail says, I think it is about having learners ready and engaged to work collaboratively. Yes. It's the idea is that we all work together. When you start using those tools, believe me, your students get engaged, and they start suggesting you. They start suggesting material. They start suggesting different sites that they have already used, or apps, games, many things. Okay, any other comment? Oh yes, how do you think we can help those students who come to school because they don't have time to do anything outside the classroom? They affect the rest of the group and their performance. Well, okay. So how can we help them? They come to class because they don't have time to do anything outside the classroom. Well, for those students, we can use things that they can download on a cell phone, or an app, or a video that they can watch here. So when they are commuting, while they are taking a taxi or traveling. They could watch those things. They could read the documents, whatever you shared. So I think that would solve the problem for them. If in that case, with those kind of students, we should try to use things that they could watch on their cell phones. So they don't have to go and sit in front of a computer for a long time because they don't have the time. That could be a solution. These marvelous things, believe me, are great tools nowadays. Any other comment? No. Good. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation then. Let me see if I can share it now. Okay. Can you see it now? Can you see my presentation? Yes? Okay. Yeah, I saw your heads moving already. Well, so here and with this slide we were talking about this common challenge, that we have is motivating students to complete the out-of-class activities. We must remember that we are the teachers. I mean, we set the rules, and we also are in charge of motivating our students. If we are just beginning with the use of these technological tools, maybe we can have like some rewards to encourage them. And once they get used to it, we can take the rewards away and continue just working, because they already know that's the way we work in the classroom, okay, or we work with this class. Then the big question here would be, how can we do it? Well, you have a very useful tool with you, that is the VLE. This VLE is going to let you do whatever you want, whatever you want to share with your students. It will be really easy to do it. I suppose that you all are familiarized with the use of the VLE, right? Yes, you all know how to use it. You all know how it works. Okay. Yes, everybody. Well, there you're going to be able to share or to assign your students the activities that are already part of the VLE, that are uploaded there, but you can also upload your own material. So let me show you again. Let me share the screen. The thing is that when I share it, I am able to share just the whole screen, not just the PDF. And that's why we get like those thousands screens within the same screen. Okay, can you see the presentation there? No. Okay. Let me see. Okay, there. I think now you can see it. Right? Great. So, well, with the use of the VLE, then you will be able to not use just the material that is already there, but to upload your own material. So if you go to my content area, there you're going to be able to upload files. There, and you can upload up to 10 megas there. I know most of the videos are heavier than that, so it would be difficult to upload a video. But what we can do is, if we have the link to that video, we can upload the link, or we can upload the video. If we already have it in our computers, we can upload the video to a Google Drive account, and from there we share the link, especially if we're working with young students, with teenagers, because if we share a YouTube link, then for sure after watching the video you ask them to watch, they will spend hours and hours wasting their time and watching many things in YouTube. So the most important thing here would be to control it, to close it as much as we can. So I suggest not to share the YouTube link. I suggest that you download the video to your own computer, and then you can have it in your Google Drive, for example, and from there you just share the link to that specific video in your drive, and that's the only thing that students will watch. Okay, you're not sending them to YouTube. Or another way to share it with them and make sure that you're sharing just the video, not sending them to YouTube in this case, could be to create QR codes, and it looks so much cooler. So it's not difficult. What we do is that with any resource that you have in your computer, maybe a video, a worksheet, whatever you want that you have there, and you want to create a QR code, what you can do is upload that worksheet or video to your Google Drive, and from there you get a shareable link, and that link can be changed into a QR code. That's a way to share it with everybody, like in WhatsApp. Just get the link, share it like any other image, and it would be very easy for students to take it with them and open it in a cell phone. So they don't have to download the Google Drive, etc., etc. You just share the link, they scan it, and they could watch whatever you send. Have you ever created a QR code? Okay, Daniel says no. Anyone else? No. Okay, we're going to create one right now. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, there, if you Google QR code generator, the first thing you get is Google QR code generator. That is the first thing you get here. So once you're there, what you do is here you paste the URL or whatever you're going to share. It could be the URL for something online, or remember, try to narrow their options there so they don't spend a lot of time watching some other things and get distracted. What you can do is, as I told you, create a file, upload it to your drive, and from there you share, you get the shareable link, just as I did with the PDF version of the presentation that I sent you. I uploaded that to my email, to my Google Drive, and there you get the code, and then you paste it. For example, here, this is the QR code, or the link to the presentation I sent you. Okay, and now I have here a QR code, and I can download it. It's downloaded as an image. Here, it's a zip file here. I'm opening the file to show you. No, we don't want to see that. Okay. Do you have a scanner in your cell phone? Do you have a QR code scanner? Yes? We all have one? Okay. So scan that QR code that you see on the screen right now. I'm going to do it too to make sure it works. So I'm scanning it. Okay. So we scan it, and you get your link, you open it, and you have the same presentation that we have been sharing. Did it work? Were you able to open the file with the QR code? Yes, Paula says yes. Okay. Okay, Lily. Great. So as you can see, it's really easy to create a code, and then you just share it as an image, and it would be really easy for your students to pass it to one another. Even if one of your students didn't go to class that day, they can get the QR code and get whatever resource you wanted them to see. Any comments so far? Questions? Anything? Nope. Okay, quite useful, yes. Very. Yes, for students who don't make it to the class, it's really easy for them to get whatever you shared. Okay, and this is a great way to upload things to our VLE because it's just an image. So embedded in that QR code, you can have a video or whatever, and it will not be that heavy. So it would be really easy also to share in the VLE. Okay, so let me go back to the presentation. Okay, so here we have the presentation. I already told you how to create a QR code that you can decide how to share it. Send it through WhatsApp or upload it to the VLE, any way that you can do it. Okay? So remember that I told you about different useful material for teachers. if you, I suggest, well, now you have the PDF version of the presentation, but you can also take a picture, take a photo of the screen, take a screenshot, so you keep these links with you. All these links are for you to go and find online resources to be used in your English class. All of them are sites designed for English learners or English teachers. So I hope you find them useful. Have we ever used any of them? Can you well, the first question, can you see them? Okay, wait a second. Okay. Well, were you able to see the Lily said yes. Okay. Well, those, have you used any of those? Were they familiar to you, those sites or links? Okay, Paola, some of them? Yes, okay. Okay, some of them. Paola, it says songs to practice. Are you asking me to send you ideas or where to get songs or what? Oh yes, with the QR code, yes, the one that is embedded in the presentation, yes, it's an activity with a song. Yes. Okay. So let me go back. Okay, another great tool that we can use in the VLE is the forum. I'm sure you have used it. Have you? Yes, okay. I love the finger, yes. Okay, perfect. Well, so that's another great way to interact with your students online, or to share ideas, to start discussions, to encourage them, to talk about what's happening in the world nowadays. For example, the tragic event in France, that could be a great topic to make them talk, to make them share ideas. So that's a great way to use the forum, to have discussions with the students about what's happening every day. It's something relevant for them. It would be interesting, and it would be something that they all have an opinion about. Okay, let me just share some other tools with you. Here we have some sites. Okay, here we have some other tools. So the first one, this one, Adobe Spark, I've used it. It's a great tool. You can create videos there, videos in which you can add text, voice, music, anything. You can make your own as teacher, you can create your own videos to explain maybe a grammatical point or something that you want to share with your students, and then use that video and send it to them or ask them to download it. Or you can encourage students to create a video about any topic that you're talking about, that you're teaching in your classroom. But you can also create infographics, infographics where they are able to use their imagination, their creativity, and present something to the class in a different way. So it's a really useful tool. It's totally free. It's one of my favorite words when I talk about apps and sites. It's totally free. Then the next one has become really popular, Piccollage. Piccollage is one of my favorites. It's really easy to use. It's an app that you can download to your mobile device and create a collage about anything. You can add pictures, you can add text, anything you want. You can create really incredible images, posters, and it's really easy to share. You can share it through WhatsApp as an image, or you can upload it, you can email it, you can upload it to the VLE. And again, it's a great way for you to prepare like a poster about a topic that you're going to teach, or to ask students to create one and present it to the class, or send it to you for homework, etc. Then we have Chatterpix. Have you used Chatterpix? Let me go back this way so I can see you. Okay, no one has used Chatterpix before? Okay, you have to try it. That's your homework for today. It's really fun, believe me. Your students and you, once you get to know this tool, you're going to have a lot of fun. Because with Chatterpix, what you do is you make a picture talk. So you're going to have fun, and you're going to make your students have fun with you, and have fun with them, because they are going to be able to make talking memes. So they will have fun, and it's also a fun tool to use in the classroom. The other day I was sharing ideas with a teacher in Ciudad Juárez, and one of the tools I suggested was this one, Chatterpix. And then she sent me, sorry? Nope? Okay. And then she sent me a sample of the things that her students did. She was teaching history. They were studying presidents. So she asked each student to create a Chatterpix about a president. She assigned different presidents. So it was really fun, because students were able to take a picture of a president from the internet or whatever, and then make the picture talk as if it were the president, and say the most important things he did during his period. So let me show you how to use it. I hope you can see it from here. Okay, I'm opening the app. It's really easy to use. So there, it's asking me to use to take a photo or to use a picture from my gallery. So I'm going to take a picture of myself on the screen. Okay, so here I have the picture. Okay, and then what you do is, with your finger, you draw a line where the mouth is. So that's okay, so it's already there. And then you can see that there is a microphone here, so you can record something. So let me do it. Let me record something. Okay, hello. Here we're talking about blended learning and flipped classroom. I hope you get some useful ideas from today's session. Okay, so I save it, then I go to the next step, in which, well, let me, well, my mouth is kind of twisted, but I hope you were able to see it. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, and you can also add some stickers. I'm going to change my glasses for some fancier ones. And when it's done, you can share it. And here it gives you the option to send it by email, to download it, or to your cell phone, or to upload it in YouTube. So if you've read a story with your students, if you've read an article or a story in the class, you can ask them to make a shadow pics of one of the characters, or using their own picture, talking about the article or the story that you just read, anything that you can imagine, and it takes 2 minutes to do. So even if you're working with, yes, it's a great pronunciation practice because they will have to speak English. And even if they do not have a lot of time, it's something that takes 2 minutes. So it would be a useful tool, I think. Okay, now let me go back to the presentation to talk about the next two. Okay, so we have seen Adobe Spark for videos and posters, Picolash to use pictures and text. That's a great practice for writing. We have Chatterpix. That is the one that I just showed you. The next one, Bitsboard. Bitsboard is a great app. It's based on the use of flashcards. And we know that we teachers love flashcards. We have to accept it. We love flashcards. So with Bitsboard, you're going to be using flashcard, but not just to see an image and listen to the pronunciation. You can create games, or either use games that are already there. It can be true or false activities, or select the image that goes that matches the word. Many other things. Especially for beginners, this would be great, because it will give them lots of opportunities to practice. They can practice while they are commuting, and just download the app in their mobile devices, and you can use the sets of flashcards and the games that are already there, or you can create new ones, which is very useful. Now, the other tool there was the one that I suppose you already know. That is the app for the big picture. Have you used it, or have your students used it? Okay, Daniel. Yes. You have used it. Anyone else? Nope. Nobody else has used it. Okay, you should have, because it's part of the Big Picture program. So, do you remember those books that I used to have when I was little? The Finding Wally or Finding Waldo? There was a picture full of bunch of things, and you had to find very specific things, including Wally. Well, I don't think so, since we don't promote it. Okay. Well, it's a great tool, again, for students to reinforce the vocabulary that you see in class. It's a great way to blend traditional learning with technological tools. So what you do in this app is that you have to find, they give you a list of things that you have to find in the picture. And of course, all the words were taken from different levels of the big picture. It goes from the very beginning to the upper levels. It's a great way to use your time when you're waiting for someone, or and it will be a great visual practice for your students, and they can do it using their cell phones or tablets. Okay. Any comments about the tools that we have shared, the 5 apps that I just showed you? No comments? Okay, I saw a finger. Okay, so what's your comment? Okay, the thing is that most of them don't. Yes, exactly. They do not take a lot of time, so it won't be a problem. You can do them. You can use them anywhere, anytime. Yes. Any other comment? Are you still there? Den señales de vida. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see some hands back there in the room. Okay. Well, since we are not going to be here forever and ever, I just shared these tools with you, but if you want to get some more, let me know. If you want to get ideas for very specific topics, let me know. I have a huge bank of links and apps and things that can be useful to help you with your either blended class or your flipped class. Okay, so do we always need technology for blended learning or flipped learning? Yes. Yes, there's a question here. It says, do we always need technology for blended learning or flipped learning? Well, for blended learning, yes, because blended learning is the mix of traditional learning with technology. So if we have 2 ingredients and we miss one, then it's not blended learning. And for flipped classroom or flipped learning, not necessarily, because what we're going to do is that ask students to find information or to read something before class so we can discuss it and practice. So it could be printed material. So in that case, you will not be you will not need technology. It can be printed if you want, in order to have that flipped class. So they read a document, the printed document, and then the next day you discuss it and practice. So for that one, it's not absolutely necessary, but for blended learning, yes. I mean, it's one of the 2 ingredients we need to make a blended class. Yes, from the book, yes, of course. You can ask them to, as Daniel says, from the book, for instance. Yes, you can ask them to read maybe the grammar reference before class. No? So they analyze how to make sentences, how to form sentences in present perfect progressive. They analyze the structure, they see the examples by themselves, and then in class the next day you socialize what they understood and you practice. So it can be printed material even from the book. Okay, any other comment about it? How can we check if students did the flipped activity other than checking the answers? Okay, well, if it was a printed material, that they had to read, well, you will have to discuss it the next day, and there you find out if they read it or not. If it's a technological tool, if you ask them, for example, to watch a video or something, well, you can ask them to take a screenshot and the next and send it to you again as an image through WhatsApp, so you can see that they did it. It wouldn't be a problem if they shared the picture, because it would be really hard to think that all the students watch the video at the same time, etc., etc. And every time you do a screenshot, either in your cell phone or in the computer, you get the time and the date. So even if they share the picture, así de pásame la foto para enseñársela al teacher, even if they do that, it wouldn't be really or very possible for them to watch the video exactly at the same time. So that could be an idea on how to check if they did it. If there are things that we upload to the VLE, then we have a chance to see what they did, because all the worksheets that they do online on the VLE, we get a result. We get feedback, so we know who did it and what the result was. Okay, any other comment? Nope. Sure.
Okay, guys, do you have any other question? I mean, I've asked some questions. How about the rest?
Yeah, Daniel has been very active.
Probably your teachers, the ones that are in the classroom.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes.
What could we do if some students did the activity, but others didn't?
But what?
Others didn't. I mean, like half and half. Half did the flipped activity and the other half didn't.
Okay. Well, first of all, it should be as any other homework. So there are consequences, right? When they do or they do not do something that we ask them to do for homework. So it's another homework. So the same thing that would happen if they lose points, if they get to do it for the next day, if whatever happens with the regular homework, when they don't do it, it should be the same thing. The students should be able to see this as part of the class, and as I told you, as another homework to do. Or another thing is also motivation. I mean, it's going to be new for them. It's going to be a new way to work. So besides have them, yes, the idea is to make them responsible of their own learning. Exactly. That's the idea of using this different ways of teaching. So we can also use motivation for the ones who do it. I mean, a kind of reward, like keeping a record of the students who do all the activities that we assign them, blended or flipped or regular homework, and give them like a reward at the end of the month or the course or whatever. If you work with little students, exactly, a little bit of gamification. Yes, like getting some badges or getting a kind of reward in order to get to an objective or get to a point where they get a bigger prize or they can exchange it for something else, etc. So when I worked with teenagers, with high school students, what we did, or what I did with them in order to motivate them to do not this blended and flipped learning, because it was a few years ago and this wasn't that popular yet, but to motivate them to do homework, any kind of homework, was giving them it was high school, so they were seated by rows. So I kept the record by rows, like row 1, 2, 3, 4, and I kept the record every day if they all did the homework. And by the end of the week or the end of the month, depending, the row with all the homeworks done will get a free a homework pass. That homework pass, it was just a paper thing that said homework pass. That's it. And I laminated it. But with that homework pass, if for some reason during the month or the next month you forgot your homework, you could use it. And it wouldn't count. For that little piece of paper, believe me, they did anything because they wanted to have that in their hands, even if they don't need it, even if they didn't use it. But having the permission in your hands to not do a homework, it was like, wow, amazing. And it was a piece of paper. So the idea is that the rewards you use do not cost a lot of money. I do not recommend giving them candy or whatever, because you're going to spend your whole salary on rewards, and that's not the point. So try to find things like that, the homework pass, or maybe for the whole group a movie class where they can bring even popcorn and watch a movie all together, and something that does not affect your economy but encourage them to work, to do homework, or whatever you want to motivate them to do. Good. Okay. Any other comment, question, anything? Okay, I saw a finger there. How can this technique help us personalize our lessons? Oh, it's a great way. We mentioned that at the beginning, but I think it was at the beginning of the previous session. These tools will give our students the chance to control everything. If they need to watch the video 2, 3, 5, 100 times, they can do it. There is no one there to tell them not to do it anymore. I remember that working with songs was something that my students liked, but the beginner students or the weaker students didn't find it like very attractive because it was harder for them to understand. So when I started using the MP3 players to do those activities, voila, problem solved. Because I asked them previously, I said, okay, for tomorrow we're going to be working with this song. Please make sure you download it. Well, now you don't have to download it. You can just find it in Spotify, right? But, well, back then they had to download it. So I asked them to download the song. I gave them the specific song and the version and singer, etc., etc. So they downloaded the song, and I came to class with my printed worksheets already. All the activities that we were going to do with that song, I gave them to my students. They put on their headphones, and they started listening to the song and doing the activities, but at their own pace. They were able to pause it, to rewind it, to listen again, and they were able to be in charge of their own learning. That's what we're looking for here. And that's great for mixed ability classes because then they control how to do it. The weaker students will be able to take their time and decide how to do it, and for the strong students, they will do it really fast and be finished, and then they can do whatever they have to do. So it's a great way to help our students do the activities according to their time, to feel confident. We're teaching a language, and confidence is essential here. Asking students to speak in class, to participate in class when they do not feel secure, it's really hard. They suffer a lot. So with this, we give them like the remote. They are able to control how to do it. So I think it's great for mixed ability classes. Okay. Yes, I saw the little fingers. Most people here are supervisors and mentors. What advice do you have for them to help teachers jump in this way to work? The same advice as to do it with students. Motivate them. Have some kind of rewards. Like we have seen places where they have like the teacher of the month, well, the technological teacher of the month, or the digital teacher of the month, etc. So try to encourage them, and if possible, I don't know how, if you have meetings with them, I suppose you do. So if you as supervisors or mentors have a chance to work with them, make them live a blended class or a flipped class. So once they experience it, it will be easier for them to understand and see the benefits of it. So try to make a session. It doesn't have to be too long, a 15-20 minute session where you demonstrate and where they are like your students and they can see how it is done. First, that is not that difficult. Most of the time, teachers who are very reluctant to this is because they do not feel confident with technology. So once we use easy tools like the ones I showed you today with them, they see that mobile devices do not explode, computers do not explode, and they do not need to be rocket scientists in able to use those tools, and they will feel more confident. Confidence is necessary for teachers too. So I suggest that you share ideas with them, that you let them use those tools, you let them live a blended class, a flipped class, and that will help them see the benefits and start and try this different way of working. Experiment, yes, that's the best way. Leave it. Okay. My pleasure. Okay. As I told you, well, I don't know if there is any other comment, suggestion, question, complaint, anything.
Guys, do you have any other question? I'd like to listen to you now. Antonio Caso. Ana Luisa, we can't see you. She's not there.
No, it's just her picture.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Liliana, Alondra, Hector. No more questions?
Comments?
Comments, yes.
Complaints? Anything?
Okay, it looks like Alondra is preparing a question.
Okay.
Now we were just discussing that all the tools were very useful, and because we have 2 new teachers here.
Okay.
And they are going to start experimenting with the BLE. They have just taken the training very recently, so this is new for them. Well, some of the things are new for them. So I think your talk was very useful for them not to be scared of what they can do with the BLE. So that's what we were saying, that it was very clear. They were saying that it was very clear. And
okay, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. And well, as I told you, anything I can do, and yes, don't panic. Nothing is going to happen. Try. And I know, I mean, we are not, well, at least not I am not a digital native. I have to learn with the time how to use technology and everything. And it could be scary sometimes for some teachers. But try, that's the best way. And don't panic. If something doesn't work, if your projector doesn't work in class, if the computer, if something happens, your students will be able to solve it, especially if you work with teenagers. They will help you. They will save you. So don't worry.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. And they said even for some students it may be scary. Yes, when we work with adults, it's the same thing. For teenagers and for kids, it is not scary at all. It's part of their lives. But for older students, it could be scary. So starting using friendly apps will make them feel confident, and little by little we set the bar a little higher. So they start trying more difficult things, but let's start with baby steps, as in everything.
Okay. Thank you. If nobody else has anything to say, well, thank you, Rosie. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
And same for you guys. Thanks for being here, and for all the students that are teachers that are watching this through YouTube. Okay. So for now we say goodbye, but we can have more of these chats with other people. Okay?
Yes. And just to finish, here is my email address. Can you see it?
Yes.
Here's my email address, or how you can find me on Facebook. Every day I share tips for teachers on Facebook. So not just technological things, all kinds of tips for teachers. So, well, you have the link to download the presentation. You have the QR code to download the presentation. So feel free to use it to explore all the links and everything that were suggested there. So if you have any question, if you want me to send you some other ideas or resources, I'll be glad to do it. If you have some resources that you would like to share with me so I can share them with other teachers, they will be more than welcome. I would really, really like that, because, well, we know teachers, we all really appreciate when something makes our life easier. So if you have any links, any sites where you can download material that you have tried, that you like, and would like to share it with me so I can share it with other teachers, please do.
We will. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.